The cloud.
All right, everybody, please turn people stand. Position.
Yeah.
Set. Courtesy. Student group number 1. I intend to develop myself as far as may and to avoid anything that would reduce or open physical health. Number 2. I intend to develop self-discipline in order to advance myself and others. Number 3. I intend to use my learning path to about myself, my fellow man, and navigate these forward. Courtesy! All right, so as we go into comments, actually, we go through today, I'm gonna have you guys turn and face this way, because then I can have the Zoom team watch me go off, and then you guys can do it as well. So the first thing we're gonna do is reminders is we hold on to comments. You always want to keep your hands in the middle, especially for a lot of the stuff that we're gonna do through this class, because it's gonna be more performance based where you're sitting here, spinning side across, with the short on back. And so the middle of the comment is going to be about a spot to hold on to, right? And generally speaking, when you're spinning your comment around, you want to find wherever your balance point is, which you're just trying to balance your comment on your finger, that's the balance point, right? Once you find the balance point for the finger roll, you want to be just like 1 inch above that or so. If I'm right on the balance point when I do my finger roll, I'm going to tend to find that my comment slides off with my finger. But if I'm just above that balance point when I do the finger roll, then it'll roll around just fine and I'll end up catching it, right? So first find where your balance point is. And then once you find that balance point, you're just going to grip it and put your finger just above that balance point. And the first thing we're going to do is just work on the finger roll, right? So all you're doing is my finger sticks out this way, my other fingers are pointed straight out, and I'm letting the comma roll right over the top of my finger. Rolling right over the top that way. I just give it a little bit of a backwards flick with my wrist, and it just rolls over the top. Backwards flick, let it roll right over the top. Right? So pick a hand, whichever one you feel the most comfortable with, and just practice finger rolls with it. 1 minute. 60 seconds. Contact with your finger the whole time, so throwing it and catching it. Just look at my fingers, not the comma. One finger's pointed in, the other one is way out like that. Hey, nice catch by the blade. See how amazing these guys are looking. Let's see it, Shivansh. Nice. Make sure it stays in contact with your finger. So as I do this, I'm keeping it in contact with my finger the whole time. I don't know if I can go slow enough for you to tell. But it stays in contact the whole time versus me trying to spin it and catch it. Spin it and catch it. Roll of the finger. Something else that you might try if you're getting used to it is instead of holding on with your whole hand, hold on with just your thumb and your whatever kind of finger that is. They call it the pointer. Index finger, is that what they call it? So between your thumb and your index finger, and then just kind of flick and get it to roll over the top of that one finger. Keep these other fingers totally out of the way. Easier for you. Yes. Now, if you're still working on getting the one hand, just work on getting your one hand. And then once you get it on one hand, then you'll start to be able to figure it out on the other hand. But always just keep doing it with one hand. If you already have the one hand, then start alternating to the right hand into the left hand. And if you find that when you're doing this, it looks more like, then slow down and just do the left hand a few times so you get that finger roll on the left side. Right? And then once you have the left hand down, then also 1, 2, 1. Well, yeah, so I try to right left-handed. Try to right left-handed. No? Really? I actually write neither left-handed. It's just not on. Think about it. That's a pretty good trick. Well, yes, the finger rolls will be part of like every class. This is one of those skills that you want to, for advanced common handling, you want to get good at finger rolls to where you can just throw them out, not really have to think about it so much. Right? This is where like, you'll have moves, roll it, something else, here, grab, boom, finger roll. Right? You want to be able to just get to where you want to strike, visual finger roll without a problem. Right? So this is kind of like the basic punch of advanced common. Finger rolls, so what I'm doing without really having to think about it. And then there'll be different finger rolls. So we'll go from this one where it's straight up and down to more like it's coming at a 45, to flat across, to your hands upside down and coming underneath your hand. To both of your hands are coming out. One hand, the other way. Okay, and time, so we're gonna stop off of that for right now, but practice this with your comments at home, not too close to any aunts or sisters or brothers or moms, right? But just to where, you don't want to get to where you can just like sit here and play, you're not even thinking about it, you're just rolling through while you're having a conversation with your best friend, right? The next thing is the figure eight. When you do the figure eight, it's important that instead of just opening my hand up and I'm like, there's my figure eight, you get to see. I'm trying to think straight, roll to the inside straight, roll to the outside straight, inside straight, outside straight, inside straight, outside straight. And slow it down to where it's just one circle and then straight, right? Because you really want to get this full range where it's coming all the way back as opposed to on just out here doing it. I want to be able to roll all the way through, right? So one side, the other side, one side, the other side. And as I'm doing this, I want the blade to come to where I go from here where it's straightforward, it rolls all the way through to where the blade's pointed right at me, and it flips over on the top and then comes back. All the way through to where the blade's pointed at me, and then comes back over the top. So it's just that big range of motion, but when you look at it from the side, you can see the blade is going through a full circle versus it's like opposite. Right? So every look at your comment in the mirror, well, stay facing this way. But look at the comma in the mirror and see, are you making a full circle with your comma? Is that comma blade coming all the way back to where the full circle is going from one side to the other? And you just going to go nice and slow at this. Pause as it's coming down this time. As you come back, you can open your hand up and loosen up with these bottom couple of fingers. I obviously want to keep these ones on as tight as I can because otherwise the comma goes flying out of my hand. But as I roll back, it's very natural. If you can do it without opening your hand up, that's great. But if you have to open your hand up a little bit, that's fine. The better wrist flexibility I can get, then the better my comma. And now switching, go to the other side. So 30 seconds to the other hand. Some good shoulder work, actually. You're not moving with your shoulder. And you just go back to your other hand, but now go 1, 2, and then pause. So now I'm going to go 1, 2, pause. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Inside, outside, or outside, inside, doesn't matter which one goes first. So just go 1, 2, and then pause. Remember, every time the blade comes down, the point should be forward. So don't suddenly get sloppy and just go, and the back of my hand is bleeding. It should be the point is bleeding every time I go forward. Point leads as I go forward. And then switch back to the left side, and same deal. Blade goes forward, I'm forward. Forward, 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 forward. You have to slow it down a little bit to make sure the point is going forward every time you go forward, and that's fine. You said it's slow, so instead of pause, pause. And then go back to your other side again, and now you're going to do forward. So now you're going to go 1, 2, 3, pause. 1, 2, 3, pause. Right? Pausing in the fourth one. Every one of them, I'm making sure the blade is coming forward. Notice also from the side, my blade, as soon as I flip my wrist over, my blade is already coming forward. As soon as I flip my wrist over, my blade is already coming forward. Instead of my hand this way and I just turn it to the last side. Right away, my blade forward. Before I even start to put my wrist back down. Forward with the point of the blade. And then switch left arm. Keep them up even with your shoulders instead of letting your elbow come in. Right? Because you can see like my wrist flexibility here is much less than my wrist flexibility here. Here I can let my elbow bend a little bit to help manipulate how big that circle is. And it helps me stronger shoulders too. Whereas my elbow's in, I can't really get that same lift manipulation. And now switch, go back to your first hand again. And now picking up the pace a little bit to where you're trying to go 1, 2, 3, 4. It's still try and stay focused on the point of the blade coming forward. And then also watching the mirror to see, is it a full range, from here again, you can pretty much moving the wrist all the way back. So the blade all the way back to its making circle, versus it being oblong in front of my wrist. Right? 30 seconds here. There. I'm just waiting for that every time. And then switch other hand. And time, and now one last round, but this time you're going to open your fingers way up so that I can kind of roll through a little bit faster, right? When my hand's tight, it makes it a little more challenging. Once you open the hand up, then you can start getting go through a little faster. Right? So you guys can see now I'm opening the fingers all the way up, and I'm going up that end. Stay focused, other hand too. And then open the fingers up, get it to roll 30 seconds. Time. And then with that kind of thing too, it's good to be able to do it off the side, because it might be on here, I do my strike, right? I finger roll and then do figure 8, and then I come back down, right? So now working on some catch and releases, or releasing catch, right? So what you're going to do is driving it behind the back this way. You're going to go over the arm and then catch it. So as I come around the arm, it's kind of like I'm using the stop of my arm to get to release the kama. And then I'm trying to get it to just make one rotation and then catch it, right? Try and get it to land right in front of your face so that I just put my hand right back there. And then I touch it. One hand straight out, touch. Straight out, touch. Sorry? Yeah, so I release it with the right and I touch it. Release with the right. Put your arm first rib, take the arm, arm, kind of. Hey, almost all in the same spot. Okay. Oh, that was my thing. Let's see it, Shivansh. How's it looking? Almost. There you go. Just relax. Watch it go up, put your hand and catch it. Watch it go up. One, let go slow, slow. Ooh, I think I've come. Once you feel pretty comfortable with this hand to where you can feel like, yeah, I can grab 10 of these in a row without a problem. Right? Then switch. Left hand. And you got this right. Try to keep the hand in front of you, so instead of just like over here to the side. Straight out in front, almost picture like my move where I did something and I'm like, roll over the top. Something, and you see here, roll, catch. So kind of be where I would put something like that in. And you get to where you're touching the left hand easily 10 times in a row, and it's going back to where you expect it every time. And what I mean by that is instead of I went, Matt, the air filters. Instead of it went over here and I was like, yeah, I got it. It should be, it's going, I don't really follow my lead, right? It's not that. It should be coming right in front of my face and stuff. And if I feel like I'm doing that, then I'm going to go here, left hand, right. Right hand, left hand. So juggling in the circles. All right, and then if you're feeling pretty good with that, then go finger roll, release. Right? Finger roll, release. Matthew. And then one last thing, and I'll leave you with this. So where you could put all of these skills into just one short, quick combination is it might be that we're set, and I go straight right, left, right hand over the top, left hand, finger roll the right, and then throw it over the left, and then straight back down. Right? So every face towards the mirror, then you're set like in a nice hand block. And then you go right hand under, left hand over, right hand over, left hand under, finger roll the right hand, release and then catch, and then just shoot right back onto the straight. Right? And then so again, from here, right hand under, left hand over, right hand over, left hand under, finger roll to the right, under the arm catch, and then straight right back down. And then set. Right, left, finger roll, off set, finger roll, all in, finger roll, release, catch, straight. Right, left, finger roll, release, catch. Sonny, we're supposed to catch that. And then quick timing detail on that whole thing is as I do this, I'm going 1, 2, 3. As this fourth stroke comes out, I'm already doing the finger roll on the way back. And then I go into the release, I catch, and then go right in. So 1, 2, 3, finger roll on the way back, into the release and catch, and then straight. 1, 2, 3, finger roll, release, catch, straight. All right, let me watch you guys play for a minute. Keep going. Do the drill that I was just going to see what I do. And then so on so right there. So here you do the idea. So what you're doing is you're going here and then you turn it over. Keep your palm up like this. Yes, yes. And then time. All right, so what I would say is through this week, making sure you're not hearing any lamps, especially for some of you that plenty of like fans several times, is just practice the video. Right? Just get to where you get this down. Again, I think it would be easy. I've been doing this for a long time, and first you'll be like, how do I get this done? But I can tell you, just even in that matter of 15 minutes, Mr. Kester got it down last night. And then once you get it and it clicks, it's like so many things in the martial arts. Once you get it, you're like, oh, it's simple. But until oh, you're getting it? You're like, how is it? What is the on button? I don't know how this works. And then suddenly they did it, and you're like, oh yeah, it's all day long. Right? And then the same thing with that catch and release, is just getting through it. Please catch. Release catch. Release catch. Your eye on the handle, and just get to where you can just release it, put your hand right on it each and every single time. Without really too much stuff, right? And you keep drilling this a little bit through the week, even if you just hit sometime in the next day or two, and play around with it again. And then sometime in the middle of the week, play around with it again for a little bit, even if it's just 10 minutes. Then you're going to see on Friday when we come back and the professor reviews all this and then show you, maybe the gluten or something, then a lot of it's going to be a little bit simpler instead of you going, oh, I need to have this down now. You're getting it down. Makes sense? Very good, right? So that's it. Congratulations. Loud and proud as a dedicated student of martial arts. I will live with principles like us. Honesty, courtesy, integrity, self-control, perseverance, and indomitable spirit. What is the goal? Neutral stance position. Set. Courtesy. Out. Impact martial arts. And by the way, did you guys see that we have the new jackets up? So spring jackets, cool embroidery in the back, cool embroidery in the chest. It has your name on it. Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. You guys do have one. Bye, Matt.